We're going. We're live. We're here. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to Traveling with Bruce. This is Bruce. Welcome, everyone, to my show today, talking about cruise ships, cruise lines, and everything else to do with traveling on a cruise ship. Glad you could make it. Hope you had a good weekend. Welcome to Monday. It is December the 3rd, 2018. Oh, my. Time is flying. Christmas Eve is 3 weeks away. 21 days. Oh, wow. I can't believe I'm not ready. I'm not, my head isn't there. It's unbelievable. Yeah, things are just going. The 10th, the 17th, the 24th. 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's New Year's Eve. Can you believe that? I mean, that's crazy. Wow. Where has the time gone? Welcome one, welcome all. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, here in Creston, where I'm located in Canada, we're just now, like just in the last 10 minutes before I went on the air, the sun started to peek out. We actually have some blue sky beginning to appear in our skies. It's been a yucky, gray, cloudy, awful day, and there is snow right down to about 500 feet from us, like in elevation. Another 500 feet, the snow starts. All around me, it's white in the mountains. Oh my goodness! We're going to be staying around this temperature. We're at 32 to 33 degrees right now. All week, 30 to 35. That's our high. Kind of normal around here this time of year. We don't get ice cold. We did get a real cold blast all winter 2 years ago. Last year was kind of normal. This year starting definitely kind of normal. I like kind of normal at the worst. Hopefully it'll just hold in this range. But anyway, welcome one, welcome all. I hope you're doing well out where you are. Cruise news wise, I have a little bit to tell you about, and the channel definitely tell you about. What a day! Yesterday we did it. We hit 7,000 subscribers last evening. Incredible. I knew it was going to happen Friday or Saturday or Sunday, somewhere in that range. Sure enough, late yesterday afternoon, early evening, we reached the 7,000 subscriber mark. Absolutely incredible. And thank you for all of you who I made a little posting on Facebook, on the Facebook group page for Traveling with Bruce. A number of you sent in congratulatory messages. Thank you very much for your kind words. I do appreciate it. Thank you, those of you who have joined us. This channel is 15 and a half months old. Well, in 9 days, it'll be 16 months old. Started August 7th, 2017. And no experience, no videos, no idea what I was doing, how to do YouTube, the technical end of it, the logistical end of it. I was just winging it, like all YouTubers. When you start, you just kind of, do the best you can with what you have, and you learn what you can from video influencers and YouTube influencers, and see what you can dig up. And I just kept plugging away at it. And last year at this time, December 3rd, I was approaching 90 or 85, 90 subscribers right about now. I hit 100 subscribers. I think it was December 13th, if I recall the exact date. So in a year ago from today, in a year, 7,000, 6,900 plus. Isn't that crazy? When I left this channel on Saturday's last live show, I was at 6,933 for my subscriber count, 6,933. Right now, 7,028, 95 more have subscribed to this channel since Saturday afternoon. Welcome all of you to Traveling with Bruce. I'm glad you're here. I doubt that all of you are watching right now live, but I'm so glad that we've added additional viewers. I would say that a majority of my viewers join this channel. I would have to say almost all of them, because of my very short videos that I make. That ones are 1, 3, 5, 8, 10 minutes long. The live show here, people kind of come over to the live show from time to time. They discover it for the first time. They watch it, wonder what's this all about? How can a guy talk cruise ships 6 days a week? Then they quickly figure out, oh, you can talk cruise ships 6 days a week. Oh, yes, you can. But to go to 7,028 since Saturday is just fantastic. If you're brand new here, you've never been here before, please say hi to me. If you're watching me live, tell me where you're watching me from. Tell me what the temperature is in your town. What's the price of gas where you live? Has gas come down in price the last couple of months? It should have. I'm surprised, though, when I get folks telling me what they're paying for gas in their neighborhoods. Some of the folks out there are only getting a 10, 20% discount on the price of gas when the oil price has gone down almost 30 bucks a barrel. Like, what is going on? Anyway, let's hope it continues. Some of you folks are under $2 a gallon, which is incredible. I'm glad to hear that. That's news from years ago. Here in Canada, we're getting little price drops, but not great big price drops. And it's gotten to the point now that governments have become so addicted to oil and gas prices. Certain governments in certain countries and certain provinces in this country and certain states in the U.S., they're now addicted to the price of oil, and it's got to go up because that's where the tax money comes from. And Alberta, next door to us here, where I've lived for many years, biggest oil producing province in all of Canada, the premier made an announcement last night that was widely expected, finally was delivered. They're mandating production cuts. The government is telling oil and gas companies in Alberta to produce less gas, less oil out of the ground starting Jan 1. It's about almost a 9% cutback, because the problem in Canada is Alberta has it. Alberta can get it out of the ground to the surface, but then Alberta can't get it to where it's supposed to get to. Their customers who want it can't get enough of it fast enough from Alberta, because in Canada, unfortunately, Canadians are really good at fighting each other. One group of Canadians fights another group of Canadians, and another group and another group. There's like 25 groups at the same time. It's like herding cats. And the poor prime minister and these premiers, they just can't get anything done because all of their constituents are all fragmented, and they all stop each other from doing stuff. And one of the things that is tough to do in this country is to build a pipeline. In Canada, it's really tough. In Alberta, it's easy to build a pipeline from one end of Alberta to the other. And Alberta is twice the size of Texas. It's huge. The problem is Alberta doesn't have what we call a tidewater location. In other words, the Pacific Ocean doesn't reach Alberta, and neither does the Arctic Ocean or any other ocean for that matter. Alberta has to move its oil and gas either through British Columbia, where I am here, and the environmentalists here aren't having any of it, or it has to go south of the 49th parallel into the U.S. and go either towards Portland or Seattle or down to Texas, Oklahoma. Texas, Oklahoma loves Canadian oil. They want all they can get to make gasoline for Americans. The problem is that pipeline capacity is right at the top, right at the peak, and there's no room at the end for Alberta crude. And so Alberta is sort of stuck with holding all this stuff. They can't move it. The government of Alberta, apart from limiting production, they've now decided to buy rail cars and locomotives. They are literally buying their own train sets to literally move 120,000 barrels of crude a day by rail to where it's got to go. It's much more expensive than a pipeline. It's not as safe as a pipeline. It's not as clean as a pipeline, but nobody wants a pipeline in their neighborhood, so the train's coming chugging through your town because you can't stop the train. Unbelievable scenario. The cost is billions and billions to the taxpayers of Canada, Alberta, and all cities everywhere in Canada, basically. But Canadians don't care. The environmentalists, they want the good life, and they want to just taxes to pay for it. The government's saying taxes on oil pay for the good life. Just got to put the two together. One can't see the other one working, and so they have this clash. And well, you know, that's what's happening around here, isn't it fun? But yet the price of gasoline for this guy, just for me to buy a gallon of gas, is still in American terms for an American gallon. It's kind of like $3.80 a gallon US for me to buy a US gallon of gas. And we're sitting on this stuff. We can't move it. And yet the price doesn't go down. It is the most incredible mystery known to man. But anyway, there you go. Fun stuff. A couple things about the channel before I go back to cruising, because that had nothing to do with cruising, although oil prices have a lot to do with cruising prices and cruise line profits. Of course, the cruise line companies love it when the price of oil drops to the low 50s, which it is right now, because Carnival and Royal Caribbean and Norwegian and MSC and Viking, they're all sitting there going, oh yeah, keep it going, keep dropping the price of oil, because we buy this stuff by the ton. We don't buy it by the gallon, we buy it by the ton. And yeah, that's our number one expense is fuel. Airlines, oh, are they happy? Jet fuel is plummeting in price. And you can bet your favorite airline in your neighborhood where you live is locking in future contracts at these prices and lower. I would bet you every month they're locking in prices for the next 18 months forward at today's prices. But don't worry, they won't pass any of the savings on to you. You're not getting any. They're just going to raise prices on airfare and ancillary charges as much as they can to prove to the shareholders that they're good managers and they can make their shareholders lots of money. Because in the USA, there is no competition anymore for air travel like there used to be. There used to be 7 or 8 big airline carriers. There are now 3, maybe 4. It's all over, and the map has been carved up between the big boys. United has their turf, American has their turf, and Delta has their little turf. Alaska has theirs, and they won't compete with each other like they used to. And you and I are the losers. We will pay dearly for airfare, because why should airlines compete with each other when there aren't any to compete against? I wouldn't do it. Anyway, there you go. Cruise lines, we'll see. There's a lot of competition for cruise business. MSC is desperately trying to become a player in the cruise line game. They are the number 4 cruise line right now. They're going to pass Norwegian for capacity in about the next year or two with all the ships they've got coming on board. And I did notice the other day that MSC announced a deal for 2018, 2019, 2020, all North American cruises emanating from the U.S. and Canada. So we're talking about New England. We're talking about Caribbean cruising. I think we're talking Alaska too. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we are. All cruises now on MSC going forward will basically be Wi-Fi free, no charge, and a drink package included in your fare. But if you take the time to take a little look like I did and figure out what the price of a cruise is now, you'll notice an interesting little development. About 3 months ago on MSC, you could buy a cabin on the MSC Seaside, a balcony, for 1 week Caribbean cruise, $515, $489, $539 for the week. Now it's $800, $850, but you get free Wi-Fi and you get free drinks. Of course, you got to pay the tips on the drinks. Don't forget that drink package tip deal. So what they've done is they've just included the two in the. They've called all-inclusive. That's all they've done, and they're no longer the cheapest cruise on the horizon anymore. But they brag about the fact that you get free Wi-Fi and you get free drinks, including coffees and juices and beers and soda and all that. And so now you got to ask yourself, which way do you want to go? Do you want to go with a Norwegian cruise and catch a sail from time to time where they're offering a deal? Or do you go Carnival, or do you go Holland America? Do you go Royal Caribbean, or do you go MSC? There you have it. So we were just talking about all-inclusive pricing the other day. This is an indication. Now, MSC still makes you pay tips extra. Port charges are extra, of course, like everybody else. And specialty dining is extra as well. So we'll see how that kind of works out. By the way, thank you to those of you. I've noticed a little activity in the last month or so. Some of you out there have taken it to been kind enough to support me on Patreon. I have a Patreon link in my homepage where people can go to Patreon and make a monthly pledge to creators. And some of you, there's about 5 or 6 of you now who are making a monthly pledge to my channel via cash donation once a month through Patreon. And at the end of each month, the payment is automatically processed as per your instructions. And I thank you, those of you who do that, because it's automatic. You don't have to worry about it. It just gets done every month. The minimum pledge I have on Patreon is $3 a month, 10 cents a day to support this guy. And if I could get 2,000 people to do that, I'd be a happy guy. But that's not gonna happen. I got about 5 or 6 right now. So thank you for you 5 or 6 out there. Thank you very much, and welcome aboard the TWB family. The biggest support I get from my viewers has to be from cash donations through my PayPal link, which I thank you all very much. A donate button on my homepage. Thank you to all of you who make those from time to time to keep me on the air. This is my full-time job. And of course, those of you who send me a super chat donation or acquire a TWB T-shirt, a coffee mug. Thank you to you folks out there. And then a couple of you are out there shopping on Amazon. From time to time, I'll notice an order or two slip through the system, and Amazon notifies me that someone bought something using your affiliate link, Bruce. They're helping you stay on the air. And thank you to those of you who are doing that. So again, thanks to all of you for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. All right, news. Some other news of the day that I wanted to get to today, before we say hi to everybody on the air here, was Princess Cruise Line announced this morning that they are moving fast forward, full speed ahead on what's called the Medallion program. I did a spiel about that a little while ago. On your wrist when you check in to a Princess Cruise going forward, very shortly, all of them will have where you'll be able to put a rubber type armband on your wrist. It'll have like a disc. Looks like a watch, but it's not a watch. There'll be a disc on the top here, and that is in effect your room key, and in effect allowing you to charge allow you to charge anything to your room, to drinks, that type of thing. And the Medallion program has been a hit. They've used it so far on the, let's see here, they're using it now, they're going now on the Regal Princess, excuse me. They're going to add it to the Regal Princess by February of this year. That'll be the second ship that'll have it. The name of the first ship escapes me. But February 17th, 2019, the second Princess cruise line with the Medallion program will be up and running, and they will add that across the entire fleet for Princess. Now, that's a Carnival cruise line owned by Carnival, so don't be surprised that Holland America, Cunard, and Carnival will all do it, and then eventually they'll go to Europe and they'll do it on Ada. They'll do that on Costa Cruises as well, P&O. They'll have it across the line. So the Medallion program is working on Princess and is expanding now to ship number 2. Carnival came out with an announcement today, and I did a video on this earlier today. Some of you may have seen it. They announced that the Carnival Legend cruise ship will be going to Europe in 2020. It'll be the first time a Carnival ship will be in Europe. By the time it gets there, it'll be almost 2.5 years, maybe 3, that a Carnival ship will have been to Europe. I have a feeling that the reason the Carnival Legend is going is that it is a recently refurbished ship. It's very similar in size to the Jade. I believe, has got new scrubbers on board so that the emissions are compliant with the European rules, and so that ship is safe to go over. She will leave New York City for the first of several cruises into Europe. The ships will be, the sailings will be 9 to 16 days long. 34 different ports will be visited in 16 countries. June the 3rd, 2020, the Norwegian Legend, or sorry, the Carnival Legend, excuse me, the Carnival Legend on June the 3rd, 2020 will leave New York for Southampton on 16-night transatlantic cruise. She'll get to Southampton on June 19. On June 19, she'll leave that afternoon after dropping off all their passengers. She'll start her first Norwegian cruise. She's going to do a cruise to the fjords in Norway for 9 days, June 19 to 28, 2020. Back to Southampton, and then she'll do a Western European cruise, which will go from Southampton to Barcelona, July until June 28th till July 7th, 2020. So on July 7th, she'll be based in Barcelona. She will then use Barcelona as her home port for the summer of 2020, conducting cruises throughout the Mediterranean until the 30th of October. And on the 30th, she will begin her voyage back to Tampa. And she'll end up in Tampa, Florida on November the 16th for Caribbean sailings for the winter of 2020-2021. And so that came out today. Carnival returning to Europe. People have been asking, when will Carnival go back to Europe? They pulled out, I believe, this spring for the last time. As I can recall, the best I can recall, the Carnival Panorama, which is coming to Long Beach at the end of this year. I don't even know if it's offering a transatlantic cruise. It may not even have one. It might be going right from the shipbuilder right to Long Beach, or to Miami, New York, and then do a Panamanian cruise that they'll probably do as their inaugural. I'm not 100% sure on that. I thought I heard that somewhere, but we'll see how that plays itself out. And there's 2 bits of news for you there. And then the last piece of news I have for you, and this one here, I could talk about this for hours, but I'm not going to. I'm too tired for that. It's basically the story of the haves versus the have-nots. And I'm thinking about this story, and I'm trying to figure out how to bring this to you, how to tell it to you. And I've been giving you folks occasional little glimpses into this world that we as cruisers don't necessarily think about on a minute-to-minute basis, because as cruisers, we don't have to think about the behind-the-scenes stuff. We only have to think about how much is it going to cost us to take a cruise, and where are we going, and what's the name of the ship, and what's on it. This story here between the haves and the have-nots are ports. These are countries. These are Caribbean countries in particular. Some Caribbean countries, island nations as we call them, they've got it all. They've got it made. They've got everything they want. They get to call the shots. There are other countries in the Caribbean that don't have everything they want and need whatever they can get to survive and to grow and to prosper. And Different countries go about this in different ways, which is also, I find personally fascinating and interesting. For example, the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic is on an island that they share with Haiti. Haiti, it takes up, I guess, a third of the island. The Dominican Republic takes up probably the other two-thirds. Between the two, Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. It's absolutely destitute. It's a tough spot. Whenever there's a hurricane that goes through there, there are scores killed. If there's an earthquake, which happens in Haiti, it's devastating. It kills. And then you've got, an out of control crime rate. You've got poverty everywhere, abject poverty. You have very little education. It's tough. For cruise lines to go to Haiti, not many do. Labadee is a resort that Haiti has allowed the Royal Caribbean to operate. They cut it off from, in effect, the rest of the population. And so the folks who take a Royal Caribbean cruise go to Labadee, and they never see the real Haiti. They see this picturesque playground of a place. And there are some Haitians who are employed because of that place. But does it make a difference to the country as a whole? Maybe a little bit, but not so much. They need 20 of them. They don't have 20 of them. Over on the other half of the island, though, the other two-thirds where Dominican Republic is located, you do have a stable government. You do have a stable country. You do have a country with an education system. You do have infrastructure in place. And you do have cruise ships coming in scores. And there are now 5 or 6 dedicated ports available to cruise lines, for cruise lines to go to the Dominican Republic to drop passengers off and let them have a great old time in relative safety. Dominican Republic government has figured out the future for them. One of the futures is let's build dedicated ports for the big cruise ships and have onshore amenities for these visitors where they feel safe and can have a shopping experience and an entertainment experience, and encourage them to stay here for 2, 4, 6, 8 hours at a time. Perhaps if they enjoy this part of the island and this glimpse, they might consider a 1-week vacation someday at an all-inclusive resort. Dominican Republic has that too. And they are making that a national priority to go after cruise business, and it's working. Cayman Islands came up with an announcement today, or yesterday, actually, I read it, but it sounds like the Cayman Islands government has made a deal with a couple of the cruise lines for funding to build out a dock, a pier, a massive dock and pier to accommodate. I wouldn't be surprised if they'll be able to accommodate 6 ships at a time, including Oasis-class size vessels, the Blisses of the world, and the other monster ships that are out there and coming. And this is getting mixed results depending on who you talk to about it. You talk to Cayman Islanders who live there, they're not happy. The Islanders are upset at the secret negotiations the government has been conducting about this, the so-called studies they've conducted, all in private, because they know they would be disrupted by environmentalists if they had them in the open. There's no question about it. The T-shirt shops, the jewelry stores, the bars and restaurants are all for it. They love it. The cab drivers love it. The bus drivers love it. The tour operators love it. The Stingray City people love it. They want to make more money from more passengers. The Islanders who live there full time and work as lawyers, bankers, accountants, school teachers, doctors, all the other professions, they hate it because every morning you're trying to get your kids to school and you've got traffic jams. If you got to go through Georgetown, it's a mess. You got 20,000, 18,000, 17,000, 15,000 passengers a day hitting the island. It is mayhem and not fun first thing in the morning, not fun at rush hour in the afternoon, around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. All the cruise ships are leaving. And then in the evening, things calm down again. But in the evening, it's dark and people are home. And they aren't enjoying the island. They're at home with their family and watching TV, having dinner. So the island is getting overrun with tourists during the day. The locals are upset because they can't conduct their lives because a lot of locals have nothing to do with the tourism business. Remember, cruise ship passengers that come to the Cayman Islands, when we land there, we don't rent a hotel room. We don't rent a suite in the Ritz-Carlton. We get on a bus and go to hell or go to this attraction or that attraction for the 4 hours, 5 hours, then we get back on our ship and we leave. It's mayhem. And the Islanders who have nothing to do with the tourism business, and that's a majority of them, are upset. So there's a referendum in the works. It's a petition going around the island. Apparently, the law says that if a certain percentage of people sign the petition, it has to then be a referendum, a vote on that topic. The government I don't think wants to have that, but it's probably going to happen. The $350 million price tag for this job, this project, is being touted as a job maker, as a money maker, as a solid future for the island. Islanders are going, what are you talking about? We're the third largest banking center in the planet. We don't need a single cruiser to come here. We don't need any cruise ship passengers to make a wonderful living. We have trillions or billions, hundreds of billions on deposit here, and we have tens of thousands of corporations who are registered here, paying their fees, and they don't pollute, and they don't cause havoc on the roads. They don't cause pollution from all the diesel coming out of the buses. This cruise business is such a small sliver of money when you compare the entire island's GDP. Islanders are going, what are we doing with this? And you got the government on the one hand who's being sweet-talked by the cruise business to do it because the cruise lines are saying, we're not bringing the big ships here unless you build a pier. We're just not going to do it. And eventually, we won't have small ships anymore, and you won't have a cruise business. And the Islanders are saying, good, we don't want it. Islanders going, the government's going, oh, no, we can't have that. No, we have too many politicians. We have too many businessmen giving us too many dollars for our campaigns, because you have an election every 3 or 4 years down there, and whoever's in power is saying no cruise ships. The opposition's going to say yes, we will, and then here we go. Around and around goes the wheels. It never ends. So here's a country with the other problem: too many cruise ships. Then you have Barbados, kind of in the middle. Barbados has 800,000 tourists a year from cruise ships, 500,000 tourists a year that spend a week or two by plane coming in and out. They want more. They want more of everything, and they figured that we can add more tourism from cruises, because look at the Caymans, 1.7 million. If they put those piers up there, those ports, they're going to have 3 million passengers a year coming to the Cayman Islands, which, of course, to me, I think is an even worse disaster. Barbados wants to get up to 1 million, 1.2 million, 1.5 visitors from cruise ships, and they want to enhance the spending on shore. Well, you got this delicate balance. The Cayman Islands are saying, the environmentalists are going, we can't handle 1.7 million, which we have now. How in the world are we going to handle 3 million tourists? 250,000 a month? No, it isn't 250,000 a month for 3 million a year. It's going to be 500,000 a month for about 4 months, and then the rest will be spread out over the year, because they all come in the winter when it's cold up north. This is a big, big debate that's going on. The haves and the have-nots and the wannabes who want in desperately. I feel for the folks in Saint Martin, St. Thomas. I feel for the folks in Puerto Rico, all the other islands in the region were affected badly by the hurricanes. They're trying to rebuild. They need hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue to rebuild their infrastructure over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. They need tons of money. They got to keep their people employed at whatever they can employ them into, rather than have them leave the island and never come back. And tourism is a big deal, but the problem with cruise ship tourism, it's not a heavy employer on a per ship basis. You might need 30, 50, 100 people for the day for a 6-8 hour visit, and then the ship's gone, and you don't need them anymore. Whereas if you got tourists that come in for a week at a time and stay in an all-inclusive resort, or they stay in a Ritz-Carlton or a Marriott, and they go out in the evening to different restaurants to try this restaurant, do some sightseeing during the day, rent a car for the week that they're there, you're talking a lot more money on a per person basis. And it's, generally speaking, it's fairly clean business. I mean, you're not talking about having factory smokestacks having to be put up on islands to handle tourists that want to spend a week or two on your beach. It's a real tug of war between which way to go and which is the best way to go. But governments who are in need of income will take any string they can grab, any rope handed to them, they'll grab it. They're desperate for whatever they get their hands on. Cruise ships know it. Cruise lines know certain islands they can make hardcore deals with because they're the boss. Other islands might not be the case. In the case of the Caymans, they build it, and they're into the cruise lines for 300 million big ones. Now they're obligated. And now guess who owns whom? The cruise lines own the Caymans. Right now, the Caymans own the cruise lines because they decide how many ships can dock offshore, drop anchor, and tender in passengers. And the islanders would kind of like it to keep it that way. So we'll have to see how this how it all works out. There's a lot going on, and there's billions at stake on both sides. And then there's us in the middle. Personally, I don't want to visit an island if I'm going to be overrun with fellow tourists. That's not my idea of a cruise. I'll stay on the ship, or I won't even take that cruise. I just won't take that cruise. You can see why Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Disney, why are they building their own resorts? Why are they building their own getaways? Here's the answer. The only people you're going to be surrounded by are the people from your ship. That's it. You're not going to be surrounded by, the 30,000 locals or 3 other ships. If it's a Disney Castaway Key that you're visiting, it's a Disney ship. That's who you're with. Whereas if you're coming into Grand Cayman on the Disney ship, there could be 5 other ships with you. Could be 12 other 1,000 people plus the 30,000 islanders. Kind of mayhem everywhere if you think about it on a small piece of real estate. That's not in some cases the islands are very nice when it comes to the streets. Other cases the islands are a mess when it comes to the streets, and you have to tolerate it. All right, there it is. Let's say hi to everybody. Anybody have comments on all these thoughts of mine, please let me know. I'd love to get your take on it. Vivian was first in here saying hi there, everybody. Hi, Vivian from the UK. How are you? Ann Jordan, evening, Viv. Cool Jazz is here. Hello, Ann Jordan. Ann Jordan, of course, is in Australia. Cool Jazz is in New York. Ann Jordan, good morning, Bruce, and all. Congrats on the 7,000 subs. It's 28 degrees Celsius now in Brisbane today, and 8 days until my cruise. Fantastic, Ann. You're getting ready to go. You're going to love that. Cool Jazz, hello, Bruce. Current temps in the Big Apple, double nickels, 55 Fahrenheit. I'll take that for the first week of December. That's pretty good, man. That's fantastic. I'm great, and going to count down your cruise days with you from here on out. She says, I still haven't finished packing yet, Jazz. I'm looking forward to this cruise. MG2, okay, I missed something when I was away last week. What happened with Robert Brandt? We'll get to that later. And Jordan, what have I missed, Jazz, on TWB? Wowzers, I have missed so much. MG, I was off having a miserable time on the Ruby Princess. And Jordan, how was the Ruby? It wasn't good for MG Toe. Cool Jazz, you still have time, man. MG, and it was the worst Princess cruise I've ever been on. Oh my gosh, she's wondering why. I didn't expect Princess to have stationed a ship like the Ruby in Los Angeles. They should have sent it to Asia and brought in the Majestic Princess to Los Angeles. MG, and go look at yesterday's show. I explained it there. Kelly Haston is here. Hey, TWB family. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Welcome back to my show. Paul Lucas, hello, Bruce and all. It's 50 here in Virginia. Yesterday it was 71, and we're expecting snow showers in the morning. Crazy weather, and it's the beginning of the beginning, isn't it? Absolutely. Welcome back, Paul. I'm glad to have you here. And Jordan must catch up. We'll do, MG. The Ruby Princess was sailing for the cruise from hell, he says. That's what that was. And Jordan, hey, ya, Paul. Tracy Dunlop, hello, Bruce and all. 83 and humid in Naples today. Overcast this afternoon with a couple of quick rain showers. Tracy, 83 in early December. You got to love that. Boy, if you could spare 20 of those degrees, send them to me. I'll take them. I'll tell you that. Paul Wilgus, hello, Ann, and everyone's saying hi to everybody else. Let me just skip past all the small talk here. Alan Carter from Calgary is here. Hi, Alan. So Tweety is here. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Hi, So Tweety. Hi, Alan. Margie Chadwick. Hi, Margie. Rhonda B is here. Hi, Rhonda. Let's see. Michael Cruise Lover. Happy Monday, all. Hey, Michael. How you doing, pal? And Jordan. Hey, So Tweety. Happy Monday or / Tuesday. Desi Wagner from Chicago is here. Hello, Bruce and the gang. Desi, welcome to the show. Are you just back from a cruise? Let's see her. Cool Jazz saying hi. So Tweety. Tom Beetle Bailey, St. Augustine, Florida, 77 degrees here, but it's raining. Welcome, Tom. Rhonda, a week from today, Tom and I'll be on a Serenade of the Seas. I'm so excited. Way to go, you guys. So Tweety. Hey, Paul Lucas and everybody. Jennifer Lawson is here. Good morning from Saipan. Welcome, Jennifer. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the show today. And Jordan, have a fabulous cruise, Rhonda. Alan Carter, number one thumbs up. He says, I'm number one. We got 27 thumbs ups already today. Thank you, folks. Let's see if we can hit 50 today. That would be great. So Tweety, 7,000 subscribers, Bruce. Way to go. Cool Jazz. Bruce, do they have a Christmas tree in town that you like? No, I don't, I don't know. I've only been here a couple of years. And I'm not part of the big part of the community per se. I really honestly don't think so. We're a small town of 5,000. I'm sure they have, you know, I mean, all around town, people have lights up on their houses, you know, like anywhere else. But I don't know if we have anything like that. Tracy, hi, Ann. You must be getting excited. Remember when you were way over 100 days to go? Tracy's talking to Ann. Michael, a cruise lover, way to go. Congrats on 7,000. Thank you very much. And thank you all for your kind wishes. It's been a lot of work, but we're growing. It's fantastic. I am stumped. I'm a little tired. Even though I had a day off yesterday, I'm still tired. I can't believe it. I love it. Been just going nonstop. And Jordan, 7,000. Awesome. Rhonda B, thanks, and so Tweety. And Jordan, yeah, Tracy, I sure can't believe it's coming up so quickly. My cruise is just around the corner. Brittany Lockwood just stopping by to say hello, to give a thumbs up. I'm working on a major paper. We'll watch a replay later. Way to go, Brittany. Get that paper done. Vivian, evening. And Sherry, awesome sunsets travel. Hello, Bruce. How you doing, Sherry? Check Sherry's channel out on YouTube if you get a chance. Same with So Tweety. She's got a channel too. And Jordan, good luck on the paper, Brittany. And Jane Shamba. I'm going on my first cruise in October 2019 out of Galveston, going to Key West, then on to the Bahamas. I'll be on the Carnival Freedom, all the different reviews on Cruise Critic. I'm wondering if I made a mistake. All right, for Jane, let's help Jane out. Welcome, Jane, to the show, by the way. Welcome to my channel. Jane, what is the situation for her going on the Freedom? I don't think she's made a mistake. I think she's going to be okay. I'm sure the ship will be fine. What do you folks think about this? Tracy went on to say, hi, Paul Williams. Hope you had a good weekend. We were sweating outside yesterday, decorating outside from the heat. Sherry, hello, everyone. Tom Henry, hi, everyone. I'm only 5 minutes late. Tom Henry, welcome, buddy. Michael, cruise lover, Rawls, Texas, near Lubbock is where he is. $1.96 for gas. $1.96 a gallon, and it's 50 degrees. That is awesome. Michael, so Tweety, what are you worried about, Jane? I went on Carnival. I was pleasantly surprised. Dina, cruising through life. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. Beautiful, chilly day here in Central California. Gas, not too bad. 330 average. It's coming down a bit. MG, Jane, you'll like the Freedom. One of the best Carnival ships. Jane, it's getting better for you all the time here. Tom Henry, Tracy, our promise, 70 Fahrenheit, never got here. And Jordan hugs Tom. Kelly Hassan saying, hi, Tom. Jane, hi. Cushing, Oklahoma. It's 39 degrees. Gas, 207. Well, that's pretty good. 207 compared to where we were not too long ago. Isn't that something? Heather Young, live stream shared. Oh, thank you, Heather Young. How are you? Welcome to my channel. Heather has just been fantastic to me. She shares my my videos on Twitter. She also does shares my videos, my short videos in particular, on Facebook, and I really appreciate it. Any of you can do that for me. That would help expose this channel to people who don't know I exist, and that will grow the channel even more. Thank you for all of you who are doing that, new and old subscribers. I love it. Sylvan Forrest, hi, Bruce. And all, it's 86 Fahrenheit with clear skies in Delray Beach, Florida. Nice for a cigar and a rum and coke. Thumbs ups. Everybody, congrats on 7,000. Sylvan, 86 degrees. What a heat wave you got down there. That's July weather. Incredible. So far, 33 thumbs ups from everybody. Thank you so much, folks. Let's go for 50 today. This is fantastic. Who else is here? Tom Henry. Who's going to join Paul and I on our group cruise? Because it's a group cruise of 2 out of San Juan. Sarita is here. Hi from Australia, 34 degrees. Sarita, I don't know if I can pronounce your last name. Sarita du Plessis. Is this last S silent? I'll just say Sarita. How about that? How you doing, Sarita? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to my show. I'm famous for screwing up names. I don't know if you know that, but I am. So Tweety, hey Dina, cruising through life. Sylvan Forrest and Tom Henry. Donnell is here from Cork, Ireland. Oh, hello, Bruce. Hi, all. Delighted to hear that you hit 7,000 subscribers, followers. Way to go, Bruce. Congrats. Thank you, Donnell, so much for your kind wishes from way over there. I know how late it is for you to join me. That is fantastic. Paul Lucas, Tom Henry does 2. Make a group. Laugh out loud. Rob, cruised out of Charleston on last week only to find Carnival's Hub app not compatible with my new Samsung Galaxy 9. Chat and Wi-Fi only works with iPhones. Isn't that interesting? I wouldn't have thought of that. That's got to be frustrating. Rob, welcome to the show. Tracy Dunlop, hi, Tom. Tom Henry, 61 in Richmond today. Sherry, awesome sunsets. St. Louis area, 35 degrees. Gas is $1.99 to $2.10. Pretty good pricing for gas. Jane, so Tweety, I've read the Freedom. It was really run down. The food was awful, so she heard. Could be one person's opinion. I don't know. We'll see. Ms. X from Tokyo is here. High today of 22 Celsius, low 14. Later this week, it'll be down to 2 degrees Celsius. That'll be down to like 35 Fahrenheit. right now in the 70s. Wow, that's something else. Welcome, Miss X from Tokyo. Tom Henry, very small group. Paul Lucas, no Tom, tiny. MG, Jane, it's not as bad as a Ruby Princess. Tom Henry, I cannot be described as tiny, though. Paul Lucas is laughing out loud. Sylvan, nice sextant shirt, Mr. Bruce. Very nice sextant shirt. Hope you folks like it. Traveling with Bruce. Beautiful design. I love this shirt. The great design. I'm very happy with it. There's 35 different designs of logos for Traveling with Bruce. T-shirts, coffee mugs, travel mugs, tote bags, wall clocks. Just go to my homepage. There's a bunch of icons either up here or up here. You'll find them. One of them is for RedBubble. Click on that. You'll go to the store, the Traveling with Bruce RedBubble store. All these logos are available on all kinds of stuff. This shirt, 17 colors. You can get this logo on 17 colors of shirts. You can't get it all. I'd love it if you did, but you can't get it all. Thank you, one. Thank you all for your support of this channel. I love it. Tom Henry, thanks for going along with the plan I sprung on you, Paul. Tracy Dunlop, it's amazing how the weather can change drastically from one day to the next up north. Tom Henry, I'm wondering what you thought when Will called you. So Tweety, I hope your experience isn't like that, Jane. I had no complaints, but it was on a different ship. Cool Jazz, hello, Tom Henry. How are you doing today? Paul Willigas, Tom Henry, no problem. I'm so looking forward to this cruise. The boys are going on a 2-man group cruise out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. So Tweety, MG, you didn't like the Ruby design. Jane, MG told this will be my first cruise ever. Tom Henry, I am doing well. Cool. How are you? MG, in the United States, if oil prices go down, the government raises taxes on it. That can happen. So, Tweety, why would you prefer the Majestic? MG, if oil prices go down, the government raises taxes. Tom Henry, Paul Williams, your assignment is to review the excursions and decide what to do. I wouldn't mind doing the ultimate excursion again in Tortola. That was a great adventure. MG, Jane, you're going to like it a lot if it's your first cruise. And I have a feeling, Jane, you're going to find the cruise will be fine. You can have a great time. Big ship. Lots to do, lots going on the ship all the time, during the day, during the evening, on shore excursions, of course, or just visiting on shore. You're going to love that. I think, Jane, you should just do it. Get out there, do that cruise, and I think you're going to be just fine. It might give you that first taste that you need, and then from there you'll figure out what to do next. Watch us from here on forward, and you will learn a lot about all the cruise ships, all the cruise lines. And you'll begin to figure out, gee, after that first cruise, I might do a second cruise over here with these guys from what I hear on Traveling with Bruce. Tom Henry, also, I've never done zip lining. That would be kind of cool, Tom Henry's thinking. Frank is giving me a thumbs up. Jim Thomas, hey, Bruce 54 in Anderson, California today. Welcome, Jim Thomas. And I'm so glad the fires seem to be over where you are in California. Sherry, Awesome Sunsets, I paid double this year for my flight than I paid last year for my cruise. Wow, cool jazz. I'm doing well, Tom. Just took 2 ibuprofen for my knee pain. Right on. Paul, Tom Henry. Okay, I will look at them. I love ziplining. MG Toe. So the Ruby had a great design. The ship had a great design. It was just not being run properly. They took advantage of the passengers. Not what I was expecting from a Los Angeles-based cruise ship. I just wasn't expecting it. I'm very disappointed to hear that that this happened on the Ruby Princess. My wife Jennifer and I, my Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife, who you've never seen, just trust me, she looks exactly like Jennifer Aniston. We went on the Ruby Princess, and it was a fine cruise. So same cruise that MG just went on, but something's changed. I don't know what it is, but something's changed. So Tweety, that was the only ship I had customer issues on, but they also had great staff and service in crooners. Tracy, we would have loved to go on that cruise, Tom Henry, but already had cruise booked through those dates. Tom Henry, I'm thinking MG must have a sign on his back that says, take advantage of me or rob me. Dina, cruising through life. So Tweety. Norman Duarte is here, sunny today. Hey, Norman, how are you, pal? Welcome back to the show. I'm still troubling on that one. Cruises Adventures is here. Hi. Gas in France is $6.13 US, and people are very upset. So it's $6.13 for a US gallon for gas in France, and there is rioting going on in France right now. People are very upset with the proposed increases in the price of gas by the government there. Tom Henry, welcome Cruises Adventures, by the way. Welcome to the show. Tom Henry, Tracy Develop, have you found our missing Robert Brandt yet? Paul Wilgus, Tom Henry laughing out, it seems that way. As Jane, MG told there's 4 of us ladies. We went all the way through school together and we stayed in touch. and we all just hit 60. So we're celebrating by going on this cruise. Jane, you're going to have a blast. You're going to have a great time. Fear not, my dear. You're going to have a lot of fun. So, Tweety, that sounds like a blast, Jane. MG Toe Tom, they did everything to get you on board with lies, and then the crap begins. Everyone I saw had a frown on their face when they left that ship. Agnes from New Jersey. Hi, Bruce. Congrats on 7,000. Thank you, Agnes. Tom Henry. Hi, and Jordan. Good to see you back in our chat. Paul, Jane, that sounds like so much fun. 4 gals. That's going to be great. Kirk Brunson. Hi, Bruce. Kirk here from New York City. I got another New Yorker here. That gives me 3. I own that town. I love it. Welcome, Kirk. I love it. Oh yeah, there's an inappropriate comment there, MG. We can't let that one through. You got to be nicer than that. Just watch out there, MG. Sarita, awesome. Enjoy, Jane. So Tweety. I certainly don't take kindly to being kicked off the ship, so I don't blame people for frowning, MG. Jane, so Tweety, I'm so excited. I wish it wasn't so far off. Tom Henry, Paul Williams, I made reservations at La Cucina, La Bistro twice, and Cagney's twice, which leaves us 2 nights for the main dining room. Man, you guys are going to eat like kings. Kenrick, hi, Bruce, getting greeting from sunny Barbados. We had 14,000 passengers yesterday from 5 megaships. See, the country wants the business, and they're going after it. Hopefully, it's working out for cash flow. But in some places, the island can't handle that many. It just depends. Peter Heckema, hi, Bruce, and all. Back from our Symphony cruise, we had a wonderful trip. The ship is spectacular. The food and service was excellent. 80 degrees in Tarpon Springs, and gas was 206.9 today. Man, Peter, that's like heaven. Sounds like heaven to me. That's awesome. Peter, I got to thank you again. We were talking about you all week last week. We're so appreciative of all of the photos that you have been posting on the Traveling with Bruce Facebook group page. We loved it. We couldn't get enough of it, and we were looking forward to seeing your next batch of photos, sometimes 2-3 times a day. Just fantastic. Thank you for taking so much time and sharing those with us. We just loved it. The ship does look spectacular. You caught all the amenities. Fantastic looking ship. I really love that. And Jordan, thanks, Tom. Great to be back, getting cruise ready. MG Toso, who was kicked off. So, Tom Henry, about 8 days now. And Jordan, yeah, Tom Henry, you're right. And Jordan's getting ready to go. So, Tweety, everyone on disembarkation day, she says to MG, Paul Wilgus, Peter, welcome back. I really enjoyed the pics you posted. Peter, Bruce, have you heard anything about Robert Brandt? Hope he's doing well. We are sorry we missed him on our trip to St. Thomas last week. Okay, now I got to bring up the Robert Brandt story. It's time for me to tell you what I know. The last I've heard about Robert Brandt came from the twins. The twins were on this show, I'm going to say last week, Monday or Tuesday even. It was sort of back then. And they informed us that Robert had an issue, a medical issue, and had to be rushed to Miami and had an emergency valve replacement surgery of some kind. It sounded serious. The last I heard about his potential whereabouts were that on Friday just a few days ago, he could have been discharged on Friday from the hospital if all went well in recovery. But that was from Monday or Tuesday, and I have not had an update on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday as to what and where and how his condition is. I do not know if he's returned back to St. Thomas. I do not know where the twins are. I do not know where his wife is. I mean, I'm assuming they're, mom and dad are together wherever they are, and the twins are hopefully in St. Thomas taking in school. But I can't confirm anything as I have had no contact, private or otherwise, from Robert Brandt or anyone with the Brandt family. I have no idea. I have no way to reach Robert other than through email or through this channel by just putting out the word. We would love to know, as viewers, how are you doing? I hope you're okay. We're very curious about your recovery prospects. I would imagine that you're going to be several weeks before you're back to your normal self. That would make sense to me. My father had bypass surgery many decades ago, and within a few weeks, though, he was coming around, and within a month or two, he was unbelievably like a kid. He was just acting like a kid. It was unbelievable how that turned his life around. I'm hoping that Robert Brandt is done well. I hope he's done very well. I hope his recovery's gone well, and I hope he's safe and sound at home and recovering and surrounded by people who love him. So I don't know anything more than that. That's that's all I've got. And like I say, I've been very appreciative of Robert and the Brandt family for their support of my channel and the tremendous advice that I've received from him regarding life in St. Thomas and in the Caribbean in general. He knows that I lived in the Cayman Islands for a couple of years, so he knows that I have a bit of a handle on what it's like living in the Caribbean and flying into the mainland all the time. But like I said, I've heard nothing new from anyone there, and we all wait to see if any contact will come back. And so that's all I've got at this point, and that's all I know. There's the update, Peter, from here so far. I believe the D&G boys, our buddies at D&G Explorers, who I will give a shout out today. They're not joining us today, I doubt, because they're on the Bliss right now. They will be in St. Thomas, I think tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, for their visit. And I believe they attempted to put a shout out to the twins to see if they could say hi to them in person sometime during the day when they were in St. Thomas. I don't know if they'll be successful or not. I await their update. So that's what I've got. There you are. Okay, Tracy is saying, no, Tom Henry, did you get my Facebook message? She has nothing new about the brand. So Tweety, hey, Peter. And Jordan, yes, 8 days to my sale. Still trying to get everything ready. And Jordan says, Peter, Paul Willis, thanks, Paul. I enjoyed posting them all. The photos, I loved it. Paul Willis, Tom Henry, we'll be eating quite well. Time to lose a few pounds in anticipation right now. Mary Ellen Shaw, Sal Peter did a video reading a letter to Carnival staff members about a 3% gratuity increase. It tells staff that they'll get 1.5% on their paychecks. I did read this too. I read this letter on other sites. I know Sal picked up on it. He's got a channel on YouTube. What I understand is that the tip charge on Carnival for bar drinks and drink packages is going to go up from 15% to 18%. It's an automatic gratuity that they're just adding, and there's no discussion about it. That 3% additional, 1.5% of that will be split among the staff, excuse me, on board the ship as an enhanced revenue income. It's like a raise. The other 1.5% will be going towards employee benefits. Apparently, it'll go towards the cost of uniforms and the cost of I'll use the word repatriating. That might be the wrong way of saying it, but returning staff home or bringing staff back to a cruise ship for a new contract or the end of an old contract. So when their contract is up, they're going back to the Philippines. The cruise line flies them home. When they have a new contract and they need to get to the Carnival Splendor or whatever the ship is in Miami, they'll fly them from the Philippines to Miami at the expense of the cruise line, or in this case, from these fees to get them back to their ship so they can continue their work employment. I don't know what they've done in the past. I don't know if any of the tip money has ever been split that way before or not. I'm not into this. I'm not a labor expert when it comes to cruise lines. I'm learning more every day, although as I can tell, as I'm sure you can tell, we're all learning it together. But that's what I understand. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it fair? Is it justified? Everybody has an opinion on this. Tipping on cruising, tipping on cruise lines is a very contentious topic. If I was in the business of confrontation and aggression, and I was a disturber of poop, I talk about this stuff all the time. I get all my viewers all riled up and just get everybody mad. I try not to do that on this channel, as you know. I think you folks know. So this whole thing about the tipping thing, you know, it's run by the cruise lines. It's organized and handled by the cruise lines. It's been done for decades. This is nothing new. There was a point in the early days when we went on a ocean liner, especially across the ocean. You know, in the 50s, the 40s, even in the 60s, when ocean liners were still in existence. At the end of the cruise, you would have little envelopes, and you would write your name or your room number, and you would write the name of the person you want to give this to. And you knew the first name of your room steward. You got to know them very well. You knew the name of your waiter. You knew the name of your busboy. You knew the name of your captain or your maitre d'. You knew all their names. And at the end of the cruise, the last day or so, the big deal was to walk around the ship and present all the employees with their brown envelope as a sign of appreciation for service provided to you on the cruise. But in the modern era of cruising, it's changed. The clientele isn't the same. I did a video the other day about tipping, and in that video, I had a couple of posters that Cunard had made for advertising purposes. These would have been inside Life magazine and other magazines, Look magazine and so on, to entice people to go cruising. If you take a close look at those advertisements, you'll note something rather telling. You'll note that the images that they had of the passengers taking transatlantic cruises on Cunard are not the people that take cruises today. There are very few of those kinds of folks on board today's cruise ships. And what do I mean by that? Simply said, in the 50s, if you went on a transatlantic cruise ship from Southampton to New York or New York to Southampton, you had to do the round trip too. Chances are, and chances were at the time, that if you were coming from New York to Southampton, you were headed to a European vacation. And it might have been a week in England, and it might have been a week in France or Italy, or 2 or 3 on the continent, and then back to Southampton and back home to New York, and then wherever from there. I mean, you could have taken a train from your St. Louis to New York and done this trip, and vice versa. In effect, you did a round trip on the Cunard line. You didn't do one. There was no such thing as a one-way trip. The only people taking one-way trips on ocean liners in the 50s were immigrants, and those were immigrating from Europe to the US and Canada. They weren't going from Canada to the US to Europe. I mean, who was immigrating to Germany in 1952? No American was going that direction. They were all coming the other way. And so Cunard was advertising to the upper 1% that could afford a round trip cruise in first class or second class, that would wear dinner jackets or tuxedos for the men at dinner, and women wearing the evening gowns for dinner in the evening. And you also notice on those ads, no kids. There are no pictures of any children in any of those ads because they weren't advertising to a family environment at all. This was grown-up mom and dads. These were parents, people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who had reached the upper echelon of their craft, their career. They were lawyers, they were doctors, they were senior accountants, company presidents and directors, high government officials, entertainers. This was the creme of the creme. The so-called pipe fitter from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, wasn't going on a round-trip Cunard first-class ticket in 1952 to Southampton and back to spend a couple of weeks on the continent with his wife. That wasn't happening. But in today's world, cruise lines are going after 27 million, up to 30 million passengers now per year. 2.5 million a month is the new number about to be hit here. They're not after just the 1%. Don't mind it. Don't worry about it. They're after the 1%. But they're also after the other 40, 60% maybe, the top 60%. Because what do we see on billboards? What do we see on CNN? What do we see on internet advertising on our computers? $3.99 holidays for a cruise to the Caribbean. That's aimed at the middle-class traveler. The middle-class traveler, let's just say, how do I say this politely? It's so difficult to say this nicely. The top 1%er, they're used to tipping everything all the time. They have doormen in New York that open and close the door for them and get them a cab and handle all their affairs. They have staff that work for them on a salary / tip bonus basis. They're in restaurants all the time for meetings or get-togethers and are tipping all the time. We in the average world, those of us in the middle-class world or even lower, how often do we go to a restaurant where we're expected to tip all the time? Maybe a diner, maybe a diner. But when's the last time you can recall every week of a month you would go to a fancy steakhouse with 6 friends and you're a mom and dad with kids? That ain't happening. You haven't got the money. You can't afford it. You're looking after the kids. You're trying to pay the mortgage. You're trying to pay the bills. Cruise lines realize that. They know that. But they also know something else. A cruise liner with 2,100 passengers has 900 staff on board. The staff is from around the world, but mainly the third world. They're being paid a low wage compared to what we would get. But for what they're getting paid, they're so happy getting what they're getting because those American dollars going back to the Philippines, or going to Indonesia, going to India, those are big dollars going back home. And if they can get 800 in a month, 700, $1,000, if it fluctuates between 7 and 1,000 or whatever the number is, and a bunch of it comes from tipping, they live on that. They thrive on that. They need it. The problem with the cruise lines, that what they have is if they left it to us, we as hard done by North Americans, and some of us are scraping to take a cruise once a year, once every second year, once every third year. We're trying to get a cruise. We don't budget for tipping. We just don't. We don't think about it. That's not the first thing we think about. It's the last thing we think about. And the problem with leaving it to the passenger to make a tip for themselves is that when you've lost all your money in the casino and you've drank too much on the pool deck and comes time to check out, you're broke. You barely got the cab fare to get to the airport, or hopefully your buddy's waiting for you at the airport to take you home. Or in many cases, that's the case. Not my viewers who are watching me this second, but in many cases, that's the case. They won't leave a tip because they can't afford it. And so the cruise lines have been trying to delicately find a way to build the tipping into the fare somehow without showing you a $6.99 fare when they can show you a $4.99 fare or something like that. And so the suggested tipping fee is now included, and they kind of want you to pay that. They prefer you pay it up front. They are, of course, automatically adding tip charges into services already, and it's getting more and more prevalent, and they're getting higher. It's the way it's going to be. Cruise lines are like airlines. Cruise lines are just like Southwest and United and American. The airlines want to show you a $99 flight from Chicago to Miami. But try and book that flight. You can't book that flight by the time you pick up the phone or grab your computer. Those 4 seats are gone. You're at $119 plus a seat selection charge plus any other charge for baggage and everything else. Yeah, you're paying $179 each direction. Yeah, it's $400 round trip for the fare, not $199 round trip. Of course, we know that. We've bought into this. We're not fooled. Cruise lines are doing the same thing. So it's going to get to the point where you're going to see a price on the billboard and you're going to say, oh, $399 for a 1-week cruise to the Caribbean. Well, that's $400. If we round that off, that's $800. It's going to run $800 by the time it's all said and done. Taxes, fees, tipping, especially restaurants, drinks, short excursions, it's $800 each. Others are looking at that going, are you kidding me? It's $1,000 each. You can't do it for $800. It's $1,000. That's still inside room. You want a balcony? $1,500 each. It just got to be realistic. Anyway, there you go. That's what's happening in gratuity. I went off topic a little bit, but someone mentioned gratuity, and I went there. Any other comments on that? Let me know. MG Tow, well, that's about it for Los Angeles-based ship. Princess should have nothing but their best ships in that port. Maybe that's why Royal is coming here. Well, maybe MG. Could be. Tom Henry, yes, thanks. Tracy fits with all the other info I researched. I can't find anything. Thomas, Nurse Nancy, hello, TWB. Hi there, Nurse Nancy from Wisconsin. Rhonda, where are you going? And Peter Heckema, hi, so Tweety. Tom Henry, Paul Lucas, treadmilling with Bruce. And Jordan, hiya, Peter. Awesome picks of the symphony. I do miss her. Thank you for posting. Tom Henry, you will love the sweet lunch and breakfast. Paul Wilgus laughing out loud. Tom MG, Nurse Nancy, thank you, much appreciated. I used it. Roberta, hi Bruce, hi Roberta. Tom Henry, cool jazz. We have a pull-out bed in the corner. Any luck to find a caretaker for Mom? Tracy, thanks for all those great pics on Facebook. Peter, felt like you took us with you on that trip. It really did. I loved it. And Jordan, I'm doing a round trip from Sydney to New Zealand on Ovation, Rhonda. That's where I'm headed. So Tweety, hey Nurse Nancy, Paul Wilson, hello Bruce and everybody. Paul, welcome buddy. How's the trucking world doing? And Jordan, hi, and Nurse Nancy, great to see you. Tom Henry, yep, Peter, you had us spoiled. I was expecting dates from D&G, updates from D&G Daily, just like you gave us. But the guys at D&G, they posted photos of the plane ride and getting to the ship and the first time, and then we haven't seen anything since. We're spoiled by Peter Heckema. Cool Jazz, Tom Henry, nothing yet. Still trying, if even for the future. Rhonda B, nice and Nurse Nancy, glad MG. Sure wasn't. I wasn't sure if you'd like it. Random Gaming, hey Bruce, love the channel and all its content. Thank you, Random Gaming. MG, I'm a have not. Give me something. Michael, cruise lover, hello Nurse Nancy and Jordan. We're off to where are you off to? Rhonda and wants to know. MG Toe, Nurse Nancy, I did. Tom Henry, MG Toe, why would you think that an LA-based ship would be run any different than one based out of Florida, for instance? Kelly, hi Nurse Nancy, and so tweet. Paul, look, it's Cool Jazz. You need to find somebody that so the three of us can create havoc on the ship. Rhonda saying, I'm going to the Southern Caribbean. Nurse Nancy, hello, and Jordan, so tweety, everybody else. Peter Heckema, thanks everyone. We had a great cruise. Would book the same cruise again. Actually, we were sorry we didn't book a back-to-back. Cool Jazz, you can imagine. Can you imagine that, Paul Lucas? Hello, Nurse Nancy from Cool Jazz. Paul, that would be quite interesting. And Jordan, plenty to do on Symphony, Peter. That's sure. That is definitely sure. Let's see here. Nurse Nancy, thanks for sharing your photos, Peter. Really looked at like a wonderful time. Tom Henry, Bruce, tough to ask this since the gift is still wrapped, but I had another done. I had another done on my last cruise and thinking about giving what I gave you to the Dawn Captain. Wonder if that is good. I don't know, done last cruise. Tom, you know what? They're fantastic. They're really cool. You know, you want to, I'm happy to receive them. They're great. They're pretty neat. Mary Ellen Shaw, Peter Heckema, hope my cruise on Harmony of the Seas in February goes as well as yours did on Symphony. Mary, I think you can have a good time. Peter and Jordan, so much to do. We couldn't do everything we wanted. Just ran out of time. MG, Tom, LA is the entertainment capital of the world. It serves a population of several million people. This does not include the large foreign population that comes here. CCL should have the best coming here. Rob Souter, greeting from Avondale, PA, 54 degrees. Rob Souter, how are you, buddy? Welcome. And Jordan, wowzers. Mary, Harmony sounds amazing. We are, where are you off to? Peter Heckema, Mary Ellen, I'm sure your cruise will go well. We love Royal Caribbean. Nurse Nancy and Jordan, what ship and destination? So exciting. Mary Ellen, this will be only my second Royal Caribbean cruise so far. I'm very pleased. Debbie Manuel, hi Bruce and all. 54, I think, in Northern California today. Clouds are rolling in for another rain event in for tomorrow. Debbie, I just hope you get reasonable amounts of rain over a long period of time. Boy, that would be great. Tom Henry, Mary Ellen, what will you do the zip line? Paul Lucas, hello, Debbie. And Jordan, Ovation of the Seas round trip to New Zealand and Sydney to New Zealand, 8 days in county. Can't wait. Tom Henry, hi, Debbie Manuel. Come join us on the 224 Dawn Cruise. Mary Ellen and Jordan, we are going to Labadee, San Juan, and Saint Martin. That's on the Harmony of the Seas. Should be a great cruise. And Jordan, hey, Debbie, long time. How are you doing? Nurse Nancy, wonderful. And Jordan, awesome. Everyone's happy. Mary Ellen, I've never been to Labadee. Hope it's nice and safe. Anyone have Labadee tips? I think you'll enjoy it very much. Anyone been to Labadee? Debbie, hi, Thomas. Where is it going? Nurse Nancy, Labadee looks very safe, very enclosed. Can't wait to go there in 2020. Rhonda B, Mary Ellen, let me know how it is. We're going in February. And Jordan, so many ships coming out, so much choice nowadays. It's incredible. So Tweety, I love Labadee, Nurse Nancy. We did the private island excursion, but even the open beach looks nice. Debbie Manuel, great. And you're only a week away from your cruise. She's 8 days away, Debbie. Tom Henry, San Juan to St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Thomas, Antigua, Tortola, San Juan. What a cruise. Nurse Nancy, did you do the zip line? So Tweety, Mary Ellen, Rhonda B, I'm going in mid-February. Debbie, Bruce updated us and about all the cruising choices now in your country. It's incredible. Cat Rose, and Jordan, yes, Debbie, 8 days in counting. Will be posting as much as I can on TWB. I love that. Debbie Manuel, so excited. So Tweety, heck no, Nurse Nancy. Let's see here. Paul is laughing out loud. Nurse Nancy, I think I will. Tom Henry, Paul Lucas, the captain changed between when I put the reservation on hold till I went to book it. Do you have any concern? I was just looking at 12,010, but we have 12,006, which is the first starboard cabin. You have to look at that, Tom. Check it out, Robin. Rhonda B. Then I will let you know we're going on our second cruise. Tom Henry, probably not any difference. So Tweety, you're braver than me. Paul Lucas, Tom Henry. Nope, it looks nice. The two guys are scheming. Mary Ellen, hey, thanks, Rhonda. Tom Henry, Nurse Nancy, heard your name while watching a replay of Sherry. Tom Henry, okay. Debbie, are you traveling from Florida to San Juan, Thomas, or from Virginia? How are you getting there? Sherry, awesome sunsets. We're going to St. Thomas and St. Martin over the Valentine's Day cruise. Maybe that'll help a little. Nurse Nancy, yeah, I kind of get out whenever live streams I can catch Tom Henry. Cat Rose is going, and Nurse Nancy, what are you doing on those islands, Sherry? Awesome Sunsets Travel. What are you going to do? And Jordan, me too, Nurse Nancy. There are so many live streams, it's hard to keep up. It is. More and more people are doing live streams, and I say more the merrier. Everyone has their style on how they do their live streams, and some do it as often as me. Not many do as many as I do, but some do one once a week. It is interesting. MG Toa is saying, I've been telling you guys the ship is the excursion. You don't want to see a bunch of poverty when you have pockets picked and clean. So, Tweety, and yet you don't take your own advice and get trapped in a leaky van somewhere in Mexico, she says. MG, what happened to you, MG? Nurse Nancy, you have a good point, MG. I haven't convinced myself of it completely yet. So, Tweety, Aranda, MG Toa, we stay on the ship most of the time too. Sherry, hi, Nurse Nancy. We're doing excursions that'll include tours, beach, shopping time. Have you been there, Sebastian Shore? I made it. Yay, Sebastian. Welcome, buddy. Nurse Nancy, it's good to know the ship never gets old. Peter, heck him up. Bruce, when we were in St. Martin and St. Thomas last week, the streets were crowded, especially Nassau, where there were 5 big ships in port and over 22,000 passengers couldn't move in the streets. And what is the fun of that, right? Therein lies the issue with my little rant about the haves and have-nots. Nassau doesn't need any more cruise ship passengers. They need better shore excursions for the passengers to do something, because they're stuck wandering the streets of downtown Nassau, clogging the arteries, doing no good for anybody. Cayman Islands, downtown Georgetown, mayhem in downtown Georgetown. I didn't like it when I lived there. I'll tell you that. I didn't enjoy it when the cruise ships came into town. It was not a fun thing. It was novel at the beginning, but day after day after day, not a good time. Couldn't wait till 4 in the afternoon when they were turning around and leaving, because the island got quiet again, which is what the island is all about, but not during the time cruise ship passengers there. Peter, you make a very good point about cannot move in the streets when the 22,000 passengers are on shore. It's crazy. Tom Henry, hi, Sebastian. Tom Henry, there are some posts in Facebook saying St. Lucia is a drug haven. Sounds like an MG excursion. Nurse Nancy, more ships sailing equal more crowded ports. Sebastian, I don't want snow on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. That's a good philosophy, Sebastian. So, Tweety, I want snow every day. We hit freezing today. Donna Menkin, hi, everybody. 30 today in Beloit, Wisconsin. Nurse Nancy, snow is better than ice any day. Sebastian, happy 7,000. Thank you, Sebastian. Vivian, yuck, snow. Nurse Nancy, hi there, Donna and Sebastian. Donna, hey, Nurse Nancy. Sylvan, Delray Beach has a very nice tree. What is this? A nice setup down. They have a nice tree setup in the downtown area, Christmas tree. Haven't had time to give it a look yet. Okay. Tom Henry, traveling with Bruce. I figure now that I have booked the cruise, Robert will return with the cruise he can set up that's much cheaper. I don't know. I just, I haven't heard a thing, not a thing. As I said, there will be no group cruise for Traveling with Bruce this February. I'm going to be, the first cruise that I do as a group cruise will be one that I'll organize, and I'll probably do it through vacations2go.com. I'll have my own rep there, and I'll set it all up with those guys, and there'll be a ton of information available that I'll provide, but it'll then all be provided by Vacations to Go, and all of us can see it anytime we want, and we'll go from there. But when I'm ready, I'll let you guys know, because I can't wait to do it, but it's not going to be this February. Sebastian, it's so nice today. Nurse Nancy, post some pics of it. Sylvan, you have a good eye. Michelle, or Michael, saying the Freedom is a wonderful ship. I've been on it many times. It is a few years older, more rust, but you'll be on a cruise. You'll be on a nice cruise, and you'll love it. Cat Rose, cloudy 53, feels like 51, says Cat. Nurse Nancy, that's right, Michael. Cruise is better than no cruise. Yeah, that's right. Mary Ellen Shaw, cruise critic members are very critical of Carnival. I have not had complaints. Awesome staff. So, Tweety, geez, I just paid $3.59 for gas today. Yikes. Sebastian, whoa, 65 for my what's that? My temperature right now. Sherry, awesome sunsets. Yes, liked and shared your stream, Bruce. Thank you so much, Sherry. Tom Henry, Mary Ellen. Cruise Critic seems to be pretty critical of everything he's saying. Nurse Nancy, I agree, Mary. We've only sailed on Carnival so far. Mary, Tom Henry, doubt that. Roberta, in Philly, it's about 45 degrees. Nurse Nancy, tried it again, Sebastian? Edward Mullen, thumbs ups for Bruce. Rhonda, you can't rely on what others say about a cruise because everyone expects something different. Sherry says, hi, So Tweety. So Tweety, he said the high was 65 for him. Laugh out loud. I had to read it a couple of times. Nurse Nancy, but I'm learning to speak Sebastian. So Tweety, hey, Sherry. Tom Henry, we need Bruce to translate that, Mary Ellen Shaw. He speaks Sebastian. Mary Ellen, Tom Henry meant no doubt. Robert Brent will come through. Paul Wilgus laughing out loud. Cool Jazz, laugh out loud. So Tweety, I think Sebastian has a special keyboard. Sherry, hi Debbie. Tom Henry, he has upset me enough. Don't need any more. Kat Rose, Tom, you are your lights red. Vivian, poor Sebastian, he tries, bless him. Nurse Nancy, funny. So Tweety, I thought he was saying he won some money playing at the casino. So, so Tweety. Oh gosh. That's what I love about this chat. There's some one-liners that just get me. You get me. You surprise me, you guys. I just lose it. Oh, I thought he won some money in the casino. Cheers. I'll give you that one. So Twitty loves it. Mary Ellen Shaw, Tom Henry, you have a February cruise schedule. Just focus on that and have fun. That's right. Mary Ellen's got it, Tom. Shut up, Tom, and have fun. Darn it. Oh, my God. Oh, it's too much fun. Tom, we love you. You know we love you. How's that big-ass ladder of yours? Did you get it? Are you using it? Are the lights up? Please tell me. Tom, I love you. Oh, my gosh. So I thought he was talking about something being 65 and something with his HP, his hip or something. Cool. Tom Henry, how are you going to put lights on the vault? Tom Henry, not in the plans. Cool Jazz. No eyelashes either. Tom Henry saying, no way. Tom, oh, just laughing out loud. Cool Jazz. Vivian, so Tweety, laugh out loud. So Tweety, hey, lashes are the best. Paul Lucas, laughing out loud. Tom Henry, I want to see Kaya's eyelashes on his card too. Cool Jazz, laugh out loud. Tom. Nurse Nancy, I love those car lashes. So Tweety. But TRG, if you get on the best ship on your first cruise, you'll only be disappointed when you get on other ships. Yeah, well, I guess, yeah. I guess it's a chance you're going to have to take. It's the endless quest. Boy, I was on that first cruise, and I'm looking for a ship that's just as good. I'm going to go on every ship until I find a ship that was as good as the first cruise I ever took. 387 ships at sea right now, so let's go, baby. All right, I'm in. That's funny. Oh, agreed. TRG says so, Tweety. Same goes for cabin. Don't start out in the penthouse. Don't start out the penthouse. Peter Heckema, Bruce, our cruise on the Symphony was the smoothest yet. Sometimes we had to look just outside just to make sure we were still moving. Water was just like a lake. I know the photos you posted. I couldn't believe it. Day after day, you're showing the water in the Caribbean Sea just like glass. I couldn't believe how still the water was for you. That was incredible. Sylvan, people are riding in the streets in Paris because of gas prices. What is it? The French said on the dock of shame exactly for the same reason before being sold to NCL. Shame on you, France. Oh, okay. Yeah, the French, they got it. I think they got it pretty good. As an outsider looking in, it's always greener. The grass is always greener. But the downside of living in France is the taxes, perhaps. Your income taxes are higher than you would elsewhere. Of course, if you don't make a lot, you don't pay anything. If you make a lot, you pay more. But the benefits you get from being a taxpayer are pretty good. Nationalized healthcare, subsidized rail, which is, world class. Education, university education. I mean, there's a lot of benefits. But yeah, you try to raise taxes anywhere in the world for any reason, you get the protests because people just hate to pay more. But they want the services, don't they? They want it. They want the services. What are you going to do? Try and take something away from somebody. Can't do it. Very difficult to do. Anyway, cat roast sounds like fun. Mary Ellen, TRG, and So Tweety, good point. I have only cruised in balcony cabins, and my next cruise is inside with a virtual balcony. Hope it is tolerable. Mary, you're going to find out. You're going to let us know, too, please. Nurse Nancy, I hope they won't tax the islanders in Grand Cayman for a pier. They would do that in the U.S. No, Nurse Nancy, it'll be added on to your charge. It'll be a port charge. I think right now, everyone that visits the Cayman Islands either has a $10 or a $20 port charge built in already for the pleasure of using a lifeboat to get to the shore. Once the pier is up, I think the island is counting on 1 million more tourists over the next few years than they have now. And at least at $20 a head, it's $20 million a year more coming in to the Port Authority to help pay for the $350 million charge. There's where it's coming out. They might raise that up a little bit more. We'll have to see how that works. Sherry, every year we go on a larger cruise ship, going on the Royal Sea Oasis, Royal Caribbean Oasis this time. Last time was the Carnival Breeze. That is a step up. Betsy Lane, hello, 1 degree in Hamilton. Hi, Betsy, welcome. Nurse Nancy, when are you on the Oasis, Sherry? Kat Rose says too many people on those big boats. Rhonda, Sherry, we love the Oasis. Jane, thank you all. And Bruce, I'll be regular on your channel. Jane, thank you so much for joining me today. Glad you're here. And I hope to see you again real soon. Sherry, Nurse Nancy, we're selling out February. So excited. Tom Henry, welcome, Jane. Nurse Nancy, that's great, Sherry. Tom Henry, where's Brittany today? She's writing a paper. She's just listening in. So, Tweety, last Wednesday, I think they said that RB would be back on Friday. That's right. I thought he was going to be discharged from the hospital and could be home Friday night if it all worked out with recovery. Haven't heard anything since. Sherry, Nurse Nancy, do you have a cruise coming up? MG, well, Bruce, next time you're on Ruby Princess, order snipe under glass at Sabatini's. Okay. Regina Man, Tom Henry, she popped in to give thumbs up, but she has a major paper to do. That's why she's not here. Nurse Nancy, we're on a cruise right after you, Sherry, on the Carnival Horizon, Feb 23. So Tweety, oh man, catfish. MG Toe or frog's legs at Alfredo's. Nurse Nancy, hi, Regina Man. Cat Rose, yes, I agree. Regina Man, oh man, thanks, Bruce, for Robert Grant update. They've been through a lot lately. Like I say, I just don't have any other updates. I don't know, what's up. I can't get any information for anyone. I've been a recipient of donations from Robert Grant and this big-ass iPad that I use and this iPad pencil, but I have no updates as of a week now. I don't know what's going on. I await an update. Tom Henry, thanks, Reggie. Sherry, Nurse Nancy, awesome. You were counting down too. Reggie, hi, Nurse Nancy. Been busy all weekend, mostly just listening today. And Jordan, hey, Reggie and her man. MG, Robert is not going to make it on the cruise then. Kat, my mom is in hospital in Boston with an intestinal blockage. I hope she gets better. Reggie and her man. Tom Henry, thumbs up to you. Nurse Nancy, poor Robert. Nurse Nancy, hoping D&G has a great cruise. I do too. Paul Wilgus, Kat Rosa, hope she gets well soon. Kat, me too, Paul. MG Bruce, the twins do not exist. That's his opinion. Jane, Kat Rose, sending prayers for smooth recovery. Sherry, great picks so far from D&G. And Jordan, enjoy your cruise. D&G, hope you're having a great cruise, you guys. Reggie and her man. Kat Rose, sorry to hear. Mine was in last week, but home okay now. Kat Rose, I see. Reggie and Jordan, so excited for your cruise. And Jordan, thanks, Reggie. MG Toe, get the cheapest cabin you can. Only eat in the main dining rooms and don't spend any money. Take the gratuities off your bill. There's the MG Toe advice. So Tweety, take off your gratuities, MG. MG, sure, go real cheap. MG, play CCL's game. They think nothing of padding your bill. So Tweety, oh my. So Tweety, play CCL's game with a new crew income. That wouldn't hurt CCL. Cat Rose class levels. Paul Lucas, agree, Tweety. MG Toe. So Carnival pays the crew their salary and that they agreed upon. No need to pay them more. That's what MG's thinking. Sherry, though, our last cabin steward gave me a business card. I was very surprised. It helped me remember her name too. Anyone else had this? I think it's a great idea. It's a smart move on their part to give you a business card. Nurse Nancy, that happened with all 3 of our Carnival cruises, Sherry. We got business cards too. Rhonda B, yes, Sherry, all of ours on Royal Caribbean. We got cards too. Reggie and her man. MG, that's what we did on our last-minute Ruby Princess to Alaska trip a couple months ago. Main dining room, 3 meals a day, snacks at the buffet, inside cabin, steel, few drinks for the whole week. Roberta Phillips, you are so right. Kat, now, wow, that was when my mom was born in 1952. Paul Wilgus, MG told they agreed to be a salary plus tips. Roberta, cruising has changed. It has. And Jordan, I always do my prepaid on all my cruises. The crew work extremely hard to make our vacation the best. I agree. Nurse Nancy, hey, Milwaukee, pipe fitters unite. I was just using an example. It could have been, Biloxi, Mississippi. I hope I'm not offending anyone from Biloxi. MG told Reggie, yes, just take the cruise. No need to go broke on these ships to be taken advantage of. Sherry, wow, Nancy, maybe it's a new thing. Greg, hi all. Hi, Greg, how are you? So, Tweety, they do the work for a low price in hopes of earning more from tips. It's your choice, of course. And not my business unless we were sharing a cabin, because I'd have to double tip the steward if you're not going to tip him. Paul Wilgus and Jordan, I agree. Jane, but MG Toe, the pay I would think is the base pay for a tipped person. It's very low. Cat Rose, I'm always skeptical about prices. Sherry, me too. And Jordan, Cat Rose, never. MG Toe, Jane, that's what they agreed to work for. Don't feel bad if you don't tip them, says MG. Paul Wilgus, MG Toe, they agreed to work for X amount plus tips. And Jordan, I agree with you, MG, that they're going to be nickel and diming all the cruise ships. It's just the way it is. It is frustrating, but what can you do? Mary Allen, prepaid gratuities are the way to go. They deserve it. So, Tweety, to me, it's not about their salary. When I receive great service, I feel obligated to tip. Paul Lucas, I agree. So, Tweety. MG Toe, there you go. Bruce does not tip. No, Bruce tips. I tip. I prepay. I prepay my tips before I go on a cruise. So it's done. It's already done. And then I'll pay cash tips for additional outstanding service if I feel like I wish to. There you go. Roberta, yeah, one less thing to think about on your cruise. Cat Rose, I would want to know all the costs up front. There you go. I do too, Cat. I'm like you. MG Joe, so no need to feel that way. Nurse Nancy, it's not bad for people to be generous. If they can afford to be generous, just my opinion. Mary Ellen, I would like to think the whole gratuity amount goes to the staff. Greg, when is the cruise ship coming to Charleston for Cuba, South Carolina? That might be in the spring, my friend. I don't know if it's going to be, well, I don't know. Do you know what? I just thought of that. Is Charleston, South Carolina open year-round for the cruise port? The one way to find out is just go to vacationstogo.com, look up the port of Charleston for cruises from, say, November or December now until next May. And it'll show you every cruise out of Charleston. You can see which ones are going to Cuba. Jane, my young daughter worked for tips, and man, her regular paycheck was like $40 for a week. So if she hadn't made tips, she couldn't have made it. I agree. Sherry, we tip extra too on top of the prepaid gratuities. MG, when I go on a cruise, I give my cabin steward $50 at the beginning of the cruise, and if he or she does a good job, I'll give him $200 at the end. I don't want to feel obligated. That is beyond generous that I can imagine. I never tip that much. Kat, my last flight back east was more than that. So Tweety, that's very generous, MG. Wow, I only tipped the steward that much on my 15-day cruise. Reggie and your man, Jane, as former waitress in New York City, I totally agree. If no one could afford to tip me, I couldn't pay my bills. MG, if you don't feel like tipping, then don't. You're not obligated. So Tweety, the level of service determines if I feel obligated. If I get bad service, I don't feel obligated. MG, so that's right. Sometimes you don't want to tip. Nurse Nancy, I do agree. You shouldn't have to tip for poor service. Tracy Dunlap, I prepay my tip. So all get tips, not just my cabin steward. At the end of the cruise, I give cabin steward extra. I also tip others too, even though I prepaid, especially for great service. Paul Wilgus, Tracy Lump, that's what I do. But Vichy and Yogi are here. Hey Bruce, I stream more than I do videos. Fantastic. Tom Henry, goodbye everyone. Cindy is home from work, time to go for supper and gas for her car. Tom, have a great evening. Paul Wilgus, bye Tom. So Tweety, passengers are wandering the streets of downtown Nassau, and so true. That's so true. Greg, Bruce, when is the cruise ship coming to South Carolina, Charleston for cruising to Cuba? Yeah, go to vacationsgo.com. You'll find it there. Cat Rose, I don't want to rain on Thursday. I don't want it to rain. MG, Bruce, do the 14-day Alaska cruise from Long Beach and return to Long Beach on the new Panorama. Bonnie, Sylvan, does Delray have a different tree this year? I've been on to the one by the old schoolhouse square in the past years, walked under the tree. Cat Rose, LED, Bruce. Bonnie, Bruce, I love your laugh. Debbie, sorry about my non-participation today. Have I said I hate computers, especially when setting up a new one? Oh, poor Debbie. You hang in there. Everyone's laughing out loud. Don't forget the thumbs up for Bruce. We got 48 thumbs ups, almost at 50, folks. Thank you so much. We might make 50 after all. Isn't that great? Thank you so much for that. Debbie saying hi, Paul Wilgus. Paul, hey, Debbie, having fun yet? Nurse Nancy, I understand Debbie Manuel. Anytime I have computer issues, I have my hubby hover over it. Suddenly it works. He's a computer whisperer. Genius. Sylvan, Delray Beach's Christmas tree is still in the old schoolhouse square, but it is a new tree because the old one was falling apart. It cost over $800,000. It's not unnatural. Wow. Paul Wilgus, Nurse Nancy, I'll remember that next time I have issues with my computer. I will send for him. Sylvan, the grass is always greener over the septic tank, wrote Emma Bombeck, and she was right. Bonnie and Jordan, are you packed yet? So Tweety, laughing out loud. Nurse Nancy and Jordan, have a great day, Bruce, and all great shows always. Getting cruise ready. See you all soon. And Jordan, thank you for joining me. I'm on tomorrow twice, 5 and 8 tomorrow night for trivia tomorrow night. Please join me then too. Nurse Nancy, we would help you out, Paul Wilgus. He is really amazing. Paul Wilgus, Sylvan, that is the name from the past. I loved her. Bonnie, Debbie Manuel, just happy that you're okay. You'll learn to love your new computer. Alan Carter, our bliss was Flat Seas, November 3rd to 17th. Flat Seas too, fantastic. People are having a great time down there. Nurse Nancy loved Irma Bombeck. Betsy, for Cuba, do they make everyone get a visa? Yes, they do. Check into that closely. Nurse Nancy, sarcasm is my love language. Paul Wilgus, those who know who Irma Bombeck is really showing their age, laughing out loud. Rob Sutter, the grass is always greener over the septic tank. Bruce. Bonnie, I didn't see Sylvan's comments. Debbie, hi, Nurse Nancy, setting our system to make it easier to bill. Cannot believe how many stupid galvanized nipples or stupid PCV fittings I have to add. It's ridiculous. Paul Wilgus laughing out loud. Sylvan, I love Sabatini's on Princess. Such great Italian food. Bonnie, Paul Wilgus, I remember Irma Bombeck well. Paul Wilgus, me too, Bonnie. Bonnie, Cat Rose, prayers for your mom's recovery. Reggie, me too. My mom had one of her books. Bonnie, now I see Sylvan's comment. Bonnie, I prepare gratuities and add extra for good service. Nurse Nancy, yes, Cat Rose and Reggie and her man. Hope your mothers heal quickly. Reggie and her man, bye all. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good morning, afternoon, tonight, later. Cat Rose, see you, Reggie. Reggie, Nurse Nancy, thanks. Bye for now, says Nurse Nancy to Reggie. Mary Ellen, Charleston is open year-round. I didn't know that was going to start going to Cuba. Bonnie, Sylvan, thanks for the info. I'll try to make it downtown Del Rey in a few weeks. Want to see the new tree. Fatima's here. Good question. What do you do when your roommate is a non-tipper? Tip double. Margie, I just talked to my travel agent. She's checking on us leaving out of NOLAS in June with Carnival. Is that New Orleans in June with Carnival? Is that what is going on? Sylvan, I am by no means rich, but I am a tipper. I keep a supply of handcrafted origami envelopes with $3 in them. Whenever someone is nice to me on board, I slip them an envelope. No tipping angst here. Nurse Nancy, hi there again. Fatima, good to see you here. Bonnie, my last cabin attendant was on the last week of her 6-month contract, heading home to the Philippines. Have her extra so she could buy stuff on the airport. I gave her extra tip money. Things for her daughter. Fatima, hi, Nurse Nancy. How are you? Paul Wilgus, Sylvan Forrest. That is a great way to do it. So Tweety, very nice, Sylvan. I've spoken with a few people who bring $2 bills with them, and they say the crew loves getting them. Nurse Nancy, Sylvan, do you make the envelopes yourself? Bonnie, Sylvan, the origami envelope sounds so nice with cash. Fatima, thumbs ups for Bruce. Fatima, hi, so sweetie. So Tweety, hey, Fatima. Betsy, what about Canadians? Marjorie, yes, Bruce. There you go. Those were the comments. 49 thumbs ups. We're shooing for 50. This is fantastic, everybody. Thank you so much for that today. I'm on tomorrow at 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Live trivia tomorrow evening. Please join me if you'd like. I think we're having some fun with that. Thank you for all your comments today and thoughts and advice and information, questions, all that stuff. Thank you also for your direct support to this channel. I really do appreciate it. Those of you who make direct contributions through PayPal, thank you. Those of you who buy these products from my PayPal or from my RedBubble store, thank you. And then those of you who are going to the Amazon affiliate link page I have, it's just below here. You'll see the link. Thank you for going there, picking up some presents for your family or friends or whatever. Royalty comes to this channel on any purchase you make on Amazon. If you use my affiliate link down below, thank you for doing that. I love it. Okay, there you go. 7,028 subscribers. Can you believe it? Wow, it's just incredible. I love it, and I am so honored and humbled by it. I just love it. Thank you so much. Nurse Nancy, yeah, you hit 50, Bruce. Nice job. Margie says you did it. 50. Margaret, good night, Bruce. Night also. Tweety, holiday trivia. We'll get more as we get closer for sure. Bonnie just gave Bruce a thumbs up, says Bonnie. Desi Wagner, yes, just back from NCL getaway. Cruise was great. Mishaps before and after, not so much. Good stuff. Bruce, do Canadians need a visa for Cuba? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Americans, I think, do, but not Canadians. But you're gonna have to check with the check with Government of Canada. You know, governmentofcanada.gov or whatever it's called. Debbie, great show, everybody. Thanks for sharing your time. Bruce, back tomorrow. Stay safe, everybody. Toodles. Cat Rose. Woot woot. Margaret. 7,000 plus subscribers. Fabulous. Yep, 7,028 last count I had. And climbing. Incredible. I love it. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to you, Bruce. Margie. Thank you, Margie, for joining me and everybody else. This is Bruce with Traveling with Bruce saying, hey, thanks for joining me today, December the 3rd, 2018. 21 days to Christmas Eve. Can you believe it? I can't. I'm not ready. I'm going to have to be in LA by then. I got so much to do between now and then. I don't even want to think about it. I'm so busy. It's incredible. Wow. Paul, bye, everybody. Take care. Bonnie, bye. MG, ciao. See you tomorrow at 5 o'clock, everybody, for Traveling with Bruce. And have a pleasant evening. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay well. See you later. Bye for now.